African Americans and Latino entrepreneurs across the city, and I ran for this office 4 years ago, receiving 40% of the vote. I thank you all for coming out here this morning.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Susan Sedlowski Garza. I'm a lifelong resident of the 10th Ward. My family has been part of this ward for over 140 years. My father is Edward Sedlowski, labor leader and union reformer. For over 20 years, I have worked for the Chicago Public Schools. I started out as a lunch lady, working in the lunchroom. I put myself through, went back to school, put myself through school, and I currently hold a master's degree in counseling. I work at Jane Addams Elementary School. I've been there for 20 plus years. I went to school there, my mother went to school there, and my children went to school there. So I've been inside the walls of Jane Addams for 46 years. I am currently the area vice president for the Chicago Teachers Union, and I am the program director for the Hegewisch Community Committee, bringing after-school programs and summer jobs to youth in the 10th Ward. I have been a community activist for over 30 years here. I'm running for alderman because I believe that we deserve better in our ward. And I really believe that it's not by accident that we have Petco and that we have Agrifine, and the richer, shinier neighborhoods up north don't have that. They want to keep us divided. That's one thing that I have an agenda to unify the 10th Ward, and whether you're black, brown, Latino, first generation, fourth generation, we need to come together, because there's one thing that we have in common here. We're all living in the same ward. And I believe that if we come together, we can let City Hall know that we deserve better.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming this morning to the Manor Community Association. My name is Frank Corona. I was born and raised in the south side of Chicago. Been married for 43 years. I have 4 children, 9 grandchildren. I'm a Vietnam-era veteran, currently the Senior Vice Commander of the South Korean Post 1238. Our mission is to provide our veterans with any assistance and service they may need. I've been a commander for about 20 years. I gotta get out of here, it's too much work. I'm a retired lieutenant with the Chicago Fire Department. And during my career, I have worked at various fire stations. I worked and took care of Jeffrey Manor here back in '80. District headquarters is in 104th and Hoxie. Come by and visit and have a firehouse lunch. You'll enjoy it. I've been in the Fire Prevention Bureau for 2-3 years, where I learned my EPA skills and some of the definitions of the pollution products that are out here. I was also in the Chicago Fire Academy as an instructor, a boxing coach for 15 years. And today, before I forget about the anniversary, today's our 35th anniversary when the Chicago Fire Department went on strike, fought against the city of Chicago for a contract, a written contract. That is very difficult, ladies and gentlemen, when we've held them accountable. I've been a public servant all my life. For me, this is a natural progression. I want to serve you and be your voice in the city council. I believe in transparency and working with every member of the community.
Good morning, happy Valentine's Day. I'm John Pope, the 10th Ward Alderman. I'd like to thank the association and Our Lady Gate of Heaven Church for hosting this event today. Since a portion of Jeffrey Manor has joined the 10th Ward, we've been very pleased, myself and my office, to have a very visible, aggressive, and hands-on approach of addressing the issues here in the Jeffrey Manor neighborhood. During that short time, we've made great relationships with members of this association. Miss Ali from Bradley Park, who I know is here. We also have Jesse Harley, a lifelong resident, community activist, and business owners like Johnny Hill from Skyway Bowl. And it's no surprise what we need here in this community, like we need throughout the city: less crime, better education, and more jobs. But instead of talking about it, I try to put action into words. Immediately when I took over a portion of the manor, we started by addressing crime. Worked with Miss Ali at the park to install a crime camera, cut back the trees, install lights. We We sponsored a youth basketball program so the youth had a social, positive place to play basketball where they felt safe and could highlight their skills. We also planted a vegetable garden and flowers where seniors, adults, and children could congregate in a peaceful atmosphere. I've worked with this organization and others like the building department and the CHA to address some of the problem issues that we have in the manor, like problem buildings in Section 8. As a result, we have more of those buildings in court, we have some tenants out, and we're trying to hold Section 8 voucher holders and the landlords responsible for their actions. We've worked with the police to get more police on the street. I've toured this community many times with our police commander to ensure that he knows what the concerns are, both from the community perspective and that I know what the concerns are from the police perspective. We've worked to address problem buildings with this association as well as problem businesses, and working into bringing in more businesses. We're very happy with some of the improvements we've made and city services we provided that you should have in the manor, from tree trimming to lights to garbage collection. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to start the next portion of our forum. Now, some of you were very good about the time. Some of you looked and caught my look. Some of you did not. This is going to be even shorter. This is going to be a minute and a half. And I need you really to stick with the time. That's number one. And number two, I want each of the candidates to know, when I ask the questions, I want to know specifically about what you're going to do. We're not here to hear a lot of negativity about each and other candidate, because we get enough of that on the commercials on television. So we're not, I want you to specifically address the question, and I don't want to hear a lot of any negativity about the other candidates. I want to know where you're going. Amen. All right. We're going to get started right about now with the first question. And it's kind of specific to Jeffrey Manor. Most of these will be specific to Jeffrey Manor. And we want to know, the residents want to know, what will you do to help the Jeffrey Manor residents and homeowners get new curbs? We still have the curbs from the WPA back when we had President Roosevelt. So we want to know, what specifically will you do to help us to do that? So I'm going to start on this end with Juan. A minute and a half.
Well, to address the issue, of your curbs and stuff like that, for those that aren't aware, there's a lot of money given to the alderman. It's called menu money, which is at 1.3 million, which is supposed to be used to fix the curbs, stuff, anything that's, shrubbery, stuff like that. So there is money out there, and it's actually public information. So if you actually go on the city site, you can see how, your current alderman actually uses up that money. So you can see every single project, every single amount, and how much is the remaining balance. So it's public information. Go out there just to see how it's being distributed. That's what it's supposed to be meant for. So if you have a problem with the way it's being distributed, if you notice that more than money's going forward, have a community recycling hood. That information is out before you, so you can set it up. You can go to the alderman's office and say, hey, why is all this money being allocated to all the neighborhoods and not to Jeffrey Manor? You're ignoring us. We're still part of the 10th ward. It's not as big a portion as some of the other ones, but you're still part of it and doing that. So I advise you to go on the city site, look at the numbers, and so you know how it's being spent. You can, act where you can.
I love this question because for so long it's been so hard to get curbs in Jeffrey Manor, but what do we say to us about that? That we're broke, that there's no money, but the truth is that there is money. There is money right now. There's $50 million that are going to go to extend Burley Avenue so that KCBX, a toxic polluter in our community, can bring in their poison more easily into our community. $50 million. What can Jeffrey Manor do with $50 million for our curbs? $100 million have been allocated to lakeside development to build a new.
But what will you do specifically as the
I will
alderman?
freeze the $100 million that have been allocated to lakeside development so that we can use that money for our services and the situations that we have presently in our community. $100 million for people who don't, rich people who don't live here yet. when we need curbs,
So let me understand, you're saying you would freeze the lakeside development
I
and
would
use the money
freeze
for curbs?
the money that's been allocated to lakeside development and use everything in my power, because there is money here, it's just not coming to Jeffrey Manor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, I think this is a great question as well because it allows me to bring in part of my platform that I didn't get to introduce to you, and that is participatory budgeting. I believe that reaching out to the residents and talking with the neighbors and the neighborhoods to see what it is you'd like to see your money spent on is number one. It's not up to me where I think the money needs to be spent, it's up to you guys. So with participatory budgeting and the menu money that we're allocating, the neighborhood and residents in the community get to say, you get the vote. And I say, I have $1.3 million, where can we spend $500,000 of this? And you put out a vote, and everyone has a voice to say, I prefer curbs, or I would like some infrastructure, or we need better lights, or I'd like to see my parks get updated, or whatnot. But everybody gets a chance to put their opinion in and make that vote. I want transparency in the Aldermanic office, because right now, as far as where your money is being spent, nobody really knows. I would hold community forums to give everyone a voice, to give everyone an opportunity to kind of speak and corroborate ideas and get things going. And I think that it's important to have the neighborhoods all have equal shares, equal and fair shares, so that one community isn't getting more than another community, and that we are all on the same page as a board, because whether we're all different little neighborhoods or different groups or whatever, we are all still in the 10th ward. So as far as getting curbs, I would definitely do everything I could do to get community involvement and bring you guys back together. Thank you.
Jeffrey Manor is part of the 10th Ward. There's a portion, a large chunk that is part of the 10th Ward, 95th to 99th Street. The fact that these services have not been completed is an indictment itself. As Alderman of the 10th Ward, I will create 7 neighborhood advisory councils, including Jeffrey Manor, that I will meet with on a monthly basis. I support participatory budgeting that enables the residents and the families of the communities of the 7 neighborhoods to prioritize what services are needed, and obviously there is an Aldermanic infrastructure menu that I've had experience in participating and allocating dollars for. The $1.3 million, we have to represent all 7 neighborhoods. Jeffrey Manor deserves better than what they've been getting over the last 2 years. And as the Alderman of the 10th Ward, I promise that I will do more to provide the city services that you deserve.
Thank you.